Greetings, this is Rei'nia. I welcome you to my recap of Critical Role's special Exandria Unlimited Divergence, taking place what originally was thought like immediately after the turns out the last 2 days of Calamity. I do apologize for how late it was. When this first came out, I was on vacation, and unfortunately, I still had to catch up on the original campaign because I couldn't get that time. I'll be trying. Next video will be just noting in advance will be the first episode recap of the first episode of their of the Mighty Nine adventure camp series. I'm going to do the next one tomorrow. Hopefully, enough time to be able to watch the second episode live as it airs. Before I continue, I do not own nor am I associated with Critical Role, its YouTube or Twitch channels. I am just a fan sharing with my fellow fans. And now, without any more delays, actually, one more quick thing. I will be using, as always, clips on this. These will be used with fair use of mind, and chosen not for really very few, or chosen for because of how significant the events depicted in the clip will be, rather how comedic is.
Everyone, and welcome to tonight's episode of Exandria Unlimited Divergence. Wow, a story of an age of wrath and ruin, one of the events that unfolded and ended that age of calamity. I'm your Dungeon Master, and I'd like to introduce you to your players for this incredible series. To my left, Liam O'Brien! Jasmine Dunn! Alexander Ward!
What Liam said.
Celia Rose Gooding! And Matthew Mercer! We could not be more excited to bring you this tale of wrath, ruin, and woe, and of the things that come after. But first, we have some announcements. So, Matt, would you come up and make some announcements for us?
Yeah, I'll get over there.
They don't let me do these. Alrighty. Sam, why don't you tell us about tonight's sponsor?
Oh, God.
Sam, why don't you tell us about tonight's sponsor? That's right. That is how you used to say it. Wow, and look, the desk is the same, and the lights, the microphones. It's just where everything used to be. This is amazing.
Sam, what are you even...
I'm just getting sentimental, man. You know how sometimes suddenly it hits you see something, and it triggers a memory flooding back? Like, look, there's Laura's dice. Oh, and look, there's Laura.
Hi.
She still smells the same. And there's Travis. He's still got that mustard on his lip. It feels like we were just here. It feels like we were here just a few days ago, doesn't it?
We were just here a few days ago.
I know, that's what it feels like. It's incredible.
You really have to read the sponsorship.
Yeah, I did, didn't I?
No, I mean, like right now, you have to read the sponsorship.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Avowed is a first-person fantasy action RPG from the award-winning team.
I will think this after I'm done.
Set in the world of Laura.
I will be getting to that particular. They'll be doing. It's a game upcoming, and they have a one-shot prepared. Once I caught up with Divergence, I will start with the other ones.
Of eternity. You are the envoy of Adir, a distant land, sent to investigate rumors of a spreading plague throughout the living lands, a mysterious island filled with adventure and danger. Can you save this unknown frontier and your soul from forces threatening to tear them asunder? Explore the wild island landscapes, mix and match swords, spells, guns, and shields to fight your way. Choose companions with special abilities to fight with you. Your choices will help shape your world as you pursue your quest. Wow, I used to be so good at these ads, wasn't I?
Except you forgot the website.
Exactly like I used to. Go to xbox.com/avowed to pre-order now, or even play today with the premium edition.
Back to you.
No, there's more!
Okay.
Don't forget to check out our Avowed one-shot February 18th featuring GM Matthew Mercer, Marisha Ray, Travis. This is a one-shot. You guys are in. Marisha Ray, Travis Willingham, Anjali Bhamani, Whitney Moore, Sungwon Cho. What?
Yeah.
Those are huge names.
It was, well,
On Twitch.
I'm lucky to be here.
On Twitch.
Are we all?
On Twitch, YouTube, and Beacon.tv at 7 p.m. Pacific. Thank you, Xbox, for sponsoring this episode. Now, Matt, back to you.
Thank you, Sam. Now, I'm going to show you how to do an actual sponsorship ad.
Matt, my sponsorship had so many words.
That's okay. Because our next sponsor is Quip. And they've sent us their amazing new electric toothbrush, the Quip 360. I can't spin it my finger yet, but I'll get to it. The Quip 360 has completely transformed my dental routine, which was necessary. I used to rely on a manual toothbrush, Risha knows this, and now I'll never turn back. Because I got this. The Quip 360 is sleek, effective, and super quiet. No loud buzzing, just a smooth and thorough clean.
No buzzing.
Throw on your toothbrushes, guys. You're supposed to have one. I have mine on.
Oh, you.
Listen how quiet it is.
This one doesn't buzz.
I haven't. It is actually scientifically proven to remove 11 times more plaque and whiten your teeth twice as much from day one. Plus, it's backed by the American Dental Association. And, if for any reason it's not the right fit for you, you can return it for free within 30 days. But if you love it, you'll get a lifetime warranty and the option to subscribe for free refills every 3 months. Just like the 25,000 5-star reviews and happy mouths already raving about Quip. For critters, you can also get 20% off site-wide plus free travel casing like this and a countertop stand at GetQuip.com/criticalrole. Why am I getting so loud? That's a 20% off and a free travel case only at GetQuip.com/criticalrole.
Wait, say that one more time.
GetQuip.com/criticalrole.
Nailed it.
Thank you, Quip, for sponsoring this episode. That's the end of that. Showed you, Sam.
That was a
That was
massive.
so good.
That was a massive. Golf clap. The white golf clap.
Wow.
We're also excited to finally share the release date for Daggerheart, our upcoming heroic title.
Yeah, Daggerheart release will be coming up in.
Upcoming heroic fantasy tale.
You can check their webs. Check the Critical Role wiki. They'll have it'll be Daggerheart's release will be listed in upcoming events. Now, okay.
Brennan, get back in here.
And with that, let's dive right into tonight's episode of Exandria Unlimited Divergence.
This will be a long clip. Great graphics, like kind of reminds me of Game of Thrones. The battle that's the beginning of the with the Runer Grong and Asmodeus, the Lord of the Hells versus Platinum Dragon Bahamut and the Lawbearer, the Aeon. Eternal life after eternity.
dangerous thing. Cruel and painful.
But this will continue until the end of the first character introduction.
You behold on obsidian walls, overlooking the fortress prison of Rybad Cole, your leader, Asmog, a vampiric hobgoblin, dressed in black armor, who holds a writhing hobgoblin elder by the throat, lifting him up off the ground. The Sundering Lord, ruler of the Steel Keep, this is the commander of the garrison of the prison, which all of you will know from this day to your last. Hope, that which corrodes the soul and weakens the spirit, that sharpest and most painful barb, it can drive you to madness if you let it. No, for you, my pets, I do not wish this. Under his hand, you see, writhing, the elder that is held aloft, silver streaks in his hair. He wears the clothes of a prisoner, the one who is held aloft, as Asmog raises him ever higher. The Sundering Lord looks at all of you. If pain is what you feel, then it is the comfort of despair you must seek. Surrendering hope is the only balm you will ever know. Some would tell you otherwise. They are fools. Assembled beneath him, filling the square of the central plaza of Rybad Cole, under a red ash-choked sky, you see 1,000 prisoners on their knees, shackled. Surrounding them, armored fire giants, row upon row of human, half-orc, hobgoblin. You see that there are numerous demons populating the walls, chattering in glee and laughter as they look down at this public display of power. For those who require assistance, ridding themselves of that most painful substance, allow me to inform you, despite the ministrations of the rebellious in nature, when next the red moon touches the western sky, we will march to glory and the final defeat of the Prime Deities for the Strife Emperor! Ho, ho, ho. The armies assembled on the walls chant in unison. Massive drums, each 40 feet tall, with hobgoblin drummers standing beside them, massive batons in their hands. You look out. Word has just reached the Steel Keep. The Allhammer is dead! Ah! Cheer arises. The Platinum Dragon devoured!
Yeah, you've seen these guys, you know how you guys are full of it.
And of course, the Moonweaver has just met her final end. But what of your divinity? And here he turns to face the hobgoblin, still choking under his supernaturally strong grip. The Changebringer. That mistress of good fortune. Do you see good fortune before you hear? He drops the hobgoblin to the wall. The hobgoblin elder, a secret worshipper of the Changebringer, raises his head. She has not seemed to save you here. Speak. Do you repent, knowing that your ultimate defeat is soon at hand. You see the hobgoblin look and whisper, I do not. No? You see Asmog lifts a hand out under the open sun, because even as a vampire, the sun has not shone here in 100 years. Perhaps he has no need of rest. He raises his fingers to snap them, and below, you see there is a small family of hobgoblin prisoners looking up, and you see that behind them, a group of soldiers draws their weapon to level them at their face. The elder, a thin leather cord that has had his holy symbol ripped off of it, looks down. I repent. Please don't hurt them. What's that? Speak louder, that the other prisoners might hear. I repent. Change is not coming. The Changebringer cannot save us. Listen to what they say. I'm sorry. I repent. I have wasted my life in worship to her. I do not believe. Persuasive words. I'm glad that you at last have seen the truth before the lie of hope could destroy you. The Strife Emperor still does demand punishment, though. Asmog reaches a clawed hand into the stomach of the Hobgoblin Elder, up through the chest, through the neck, grabs the mouth and skull of this elder from within, and wrenches the head into the chest cavity of the body, arm covered in viscera as he sloughs him off, and he falls 150 feet to splatter in the court before you. Asmog smiles, licks the blood off his fingers, turns to a lieutenant, a massive human enforcer, thick cast iron armor, who nods, turns back and goes, "What are you waiting for? Back to work, you slugs!" The drums beat, and the prisoners are yanked through chains. Back to work. This is Calamity, and the terrible work of the betrayers. Matt. I would like you to describe your character for us and what he is currently busy doing,
I have to check to make sure that
with the knowledge that your hand is bleeding under the effort that you now expend.
You see amongst the cacophonous crowd of shouting soldiers and quiet, stunned prisoners, one elder dwarf, probably far older looking due to his recent life than actual age, but his gray and white streaked hair itself, a tattered mess of a tangled mane, his beard itself kind of tattered and burned at the edges, at the very tips. Very simple, kind of gray, dirty clothing with an open kind of loose vest around it. A stoneworking hammer in one hand. The one hand he has, for the left arm itself is gone past the elbow. In its place, a rough metal cap of what looks like iron slag, cauterized what may have been a wound or a punishment of some past moment. But he takes all this display in, emotionless, brow just low, a familiar display before he turns around amongst the rest of the quarry members that he works alongside.
You march down into the pit.
Yeah, marching to the quarry where they get to work. It starts to really to begin their labors and stuff. But Garaday's he tries to think back to better times with his family, though he cannot remember their names. It's been so long.
You take to your work. You've done this 100? No, more than 100 times. Have you done it 1,000 times? You might have. And as our audience at home can see, what you add to this role, you add from an NPC stat block.
Yeah, by the way, I'm not sure if you noticed before. When you check the level and stuff, they are 0. They don't even have classes. I think one of them has a cantrip.
This is a very different story here in the world of Exandria.
Level 20 down.
Oh no.
Garn's sitting pretty at 13 hit points.
Hey, for a level 0 NPC for a challenge rating, what, 1/4, 1/8?
1/8.
A challenge rating 1/8? That's my... Not bad, not bad.
Behind me.
He's working. He goes on to keep working. He tries to do the best he can by chiseling, using like the whatever dexterity he has to chiseling, but it's still hampered by the fact he only has one good arm. Chisel away to get stone and stuff there, and then, but after a while he comes up. It has a fit. Matt is requested to do a wisdom which he fails, and then he hears a word. Dad? He has a vision, a vision or a memory of a family dinner a whole time. He sees his son, Dari. He sees the outline, like the figure of his brother. He can't really remember his face. There has great terror. There's laughter and talk and life. He can't even remember his brother's name. But he sees his niece Asha.
What's a grandchild on your lap? Looks up, and you see that the grandchild sort of cocks a head and begins to dig through your beard, looking for something.
Making a nest there,
Cousin Gary told me that he'd treats in your beard.
Well, I do, but I hate them quite well. So you go to keep such.
I got in trouble at school for stealing.
That's only because you're still learning to do it proper.
I'll be.
Anyway. He sees another person, but then the vision shifts. And there's calls of Dad, Grandpa, and say, I'm scared. Something is happening. They can't make out what. The vision ends. And unfortunately, while he's having a vision, he's been sort of like, he hasn't been keeping up work, and a goblin enforcer, Cuzzle, wakes him, uses a lash, hits him with a lash for 5 hit points.
Pit, looking for those who are injured.
Yeah, Rei'nia.
Now next character.
She is walking through the pit. She's dark brown skin, white silver locks that she tries to keep them from fusing. She is walking around the pit, listening but trying not to absorb the sounds that are surrounding her, the screaming, the wailing. She is hoping that her eyes, her very, very observant eyes, can sort of clock the people that she's looking for. She's trying to make sure that no limps are any worse than they were yesterday, or that there is no one looking more sickly than they were the day before. She isn't a healer, she's a preserver of these bodies, and her instinct and want to care is something that she constantly fights, because after the display today, she's reminded that her hope, while she maintains it, is something that she must hide.
As you move through this place, give me either perception or medicine. And you may do so with advantage.
Okay. Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
That's the 20-sided one.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Please. That's not 20.
Whoa! Nia, your eyes moving through this place, looking at the horror. After a big public display, and you've been here not as long as most, but even in the short time that you've been here, you've seen these public displays a couple times. If anything, they're becoming more frequent. Where they will find, in this case, you believe there was a genuine devotee of one of the prime deities. Sometimes
She keeps looking around for a fine one. She spots Garen injured. Goes and tries to give him medical attention, so whatever medical attention she can. While Garen tells her Ray what happened. Ray is tired, but the surroundings have exhausted her. Like, there's none of that any misery around. But she does believe change is coming. A sentiment not shared by Garen. And as she starts taking to the infirmary, the scene then shifts to the slop.
the slop, an enormous, boiling hot kitchen, huge sort of crucibles filled with a stinking stew that has been cooking probably for the better part of 40 years now. The crust along the rim, sort of carcinogenically crusted to the cast iron.
Oh, but put it in a bread bowl, though?
Walk up, I'll get the number 3 with the, and there are a small crew of prisoners manning.
Okay, and horror cell, we talk about the presence there, including...
Alright, so Phaedra is a small halfling woman with red hair and 2 pigtails. She looks kind of scrawny, wiry, not a particularly muscular, strong person, but you get the sense that she's been around, tough looking. She's got a tattoo of a cockroach on her shoulder. And at the moment that she's trying to hide it, she looks like she has not been sleeping well at all recently. And so she's at work, scraping down the crust with a long spatula. Not even a food spatula. It's like probably for paint or something. Just like trying to chip down away at the sides of this disgusting soup pot.
You're chipping away. You kind of have like a little rope to actually get down under the lip of the cauldron itself as you're going. Across from you with a long scraping thing that's like a pole arm is with a similar roach tattoo on the inside of a massive bicep is Otto, an enormous sort of bearded Goliath who looks down, and you can see him he's scraping against something, and he gets a huge chunk of the crusted burnt stuff that flops off, and it sort of hits the deck underneath you on this little scaffold platform that you're standing on. This crucible is like empty, which is why you're able to clean it. Yeah. And as it lands, the crust comes off, and there's just straight up the bones of a hand.
Oh.
And he looks and goes, well, that's a hand.
Yeah, no, I was wondering where that went. Well, I mean, I don't know, just throw it back in. Bones are... That's more flavor, right?
Well, I think this probably just tastes like ash now.
It all tastes like ash. Like, just throw it in.
I don't... alright, should I tell anyone about this?
No, I would just tell Otto. It's fine.
All right.
We don't have to tell anyone about anything.
He tosses it. From way down beneath you, you see that there is another person that has a little roach tattoo on the outside of his arm.
Tavine, a fire genasi, teeth like burning coals,
All right. Do we have to tell anybody?
Who are we gonna tell? Who's gonna care about a hand?
Well, whoever's hand it is.
Yeah, well, I think they've noticed already that it's missing, so I don't see how we're gonna help with that.
See, Otto sort of crosses his arms and says, I obviously would care more about losing a hand than eating one. But if I lost it and ate mine without knowing, I would be mad.
That's fair. That's very wise, Otto. Appreciate that.
Thank you for calling me wise.
We also meet the elf of the group, oh god, his name, Kefekdriel, basically sorry, any beast burden stored there, like, well, the one things that don't have use, try to improve any source of nourishment into the pot.
Song. He's sort of a gaunt elven man. You see, he turns around and sort of whispers over to you and says, you guys need a hand over there?
Thank you, Kef. I think we're good.
Oh, alright.
Yeah.
Well, give yourself a hand for doing such a good job.
But we will. Thank you.
Alright.
Kef. I kind of turned back to Otto and I'm like, what the fuck is up with that guy? What is his deal? What is his whole fucking deal?
I'm loyal to every member of our gang, but I do think that we should be very observant about who we allow in the gang.
Yeah. No. You're right. Alright. Hey, boys, team meeting.
You see that Tavine comes up from down in sort of the coal area. You see that Kef comes over, and you see that he's just got a horse leg that he's dragging behind him.
Mm-hmm. All right. So has anyone heard from Crocus?
Otto shakes his head no. Tavine says,
They saw or heard the Crocus punched someone out of the yard. and was dragged off. And then they are approached by a bugbear who is after their target is, they're approached by a bugbear named Hero. It's hard for these names. 52.
I'm doing alright.
What they got you doing today? You got scrubbing the latrines? You're hanging out in the slop with us?
Hey. Come on. Don't mock me. Here in the middle. I'm a guard, you're a prisoner.
Hey, listen, it's no mockery. It's all respect.
Yeah, I'm doing latrines. Listen.
Okay. Well, someone's got to do it.
Should be a prisoner. Feels stupid, cruel to make a guard do latrines. Listen. Your boy ain't coming back.
What do you know about him?
Crocus is good.
That Crocus has been sent to the Hall of Parting thing, which is where they ship them off to the other betrayer gods for different services. Like, there's they're sending tieflings to the Hell Lord, and all the Dragonborn to Tiamat.
Okay, let me think. Hey, you know what? Come have a drink with me. Is there anything remotely drinkable in this kitchen?
There's a bucket of blood under the chop shelf.
I pour 2 glasses of a bucket of blood, and I hand one to Atris.
You see, Atris looks and says, "Where'd you get glasses from? You ain't supposed to have glasses in here. This is like a flute."
The slop has its secrets.
He looks and says, I gotta. Hey, give me an insight check.
Is blood the whey protein?
Yeah. God. Little shaker. Insight?
Yes. I'll roll a deception from him. He only gets a 7.
13.
You see him get a look like, as you pull these glasses out and you have staffed the kitchens of Rybad Cole with your former imprisoned gang members here, and you see him getting a look where he's like, he has to rat on you. You having glasses is like, it's like you have shit you should not have your hands on. It's gotten way out of line.
Yeah.
So you see him being like, I go.
Atris, come on, relax. Have a drink with me. You know.
Give me intimidation or persuasion. You can do persuasion first and move to intimidation later.
Yeah. I'll do a persuasion. It's 21.
21 persuasion?
Yes.
So what do you say to him as you can see him really think about ratting you out?
I say,
reporting you.
I say, listen, Atris, listen, you and I, we know each other. We know a lot about each other, I think. You have a lot of information about me, I have a lot of information about you. So why can't 2 old friends just have a nice little drink and chat for a little bit? Before, things get crazy, as they can do.
You see, as you say that, he goes, alright, yeah, we know a lot about each other. It's true.
You do.
It's alright. Take a seat. You see that Kefkedriel sort of leans against him and says, I could be your chair. You see that Otto just...
God's sake. They learn more. These are people specifically being set out to be soldiers. Or in the case of some of the metallic-colored Dragonborn, snacks. Crocus, despite being a silver Dragonborn, will be a Sun soldier because of his size. However, she knows that her friend Nia's, their own Dragonborn friend, is also being sent out, is definitely going to be a snack.
For his goddess.
Okay. Alright.
I mean, there's nothing you can do. They'll be taking you.
Yeah. No, we've been told that before, but...
I gotta report you. You see, he goes...
They start trying to think of escape plans. However, there was a black garb when it enters. This is Lady Rei'nia. Rei'nia. And it's telling them to prepare a something nice for a feast going up in the high tower of steel. They'll be expecting people there. There'll be a total of 8 participants. They're getting some higher up, some other betrayers.
You see that she takes a clawed hand and puts it on the soft flesh under your chin and says, I'll eat just about anything. And turns to walk away.
Still hot.
Still hot. Alex is like, you're trying to make me feel like this place is gross, and I think it's awesome and hot. I'm so sorry to say.
They start planning more rescue.
And we probably need stuff from the mop if we're going to serve food that makes people not sick.
That's also a very good point. Yeah. We got some time before we gotta start. Well, here, let's take this, Kef, what kind of meat is that? What kind of meat is that?
You see, he holds up his horse leg and says, This is my new walking stick.
Okay, do you just have the one, or are there 3 other horse legs somewhere?
I don't know, you'd have to ask the horse.
Okay, can you put some kind of meat on the fire to roast? Just let it roast for a bit, and meanwhile, while that's happening, let's go take a visit to the mop.
Yeah, boss, that sounds great. I'll get to roasting.
Alright.
And you see, he walks off. You see Otto and Tavine both have a moment of just looking at him. And Tavine looks over at you and says, once you get the tattoo, you're in the gang forever, right?
Yeah. That's how gangs and tattoos work, so, unfortunately.
Got it.
Then they head to the infirmary. We move over to this black cathedral-like structure. We see there outside. We see a shaved head, a dwarf with a shaven head. Captain Rudscut.
Run, chaining people on benches on either side of the carriage. And I would like the 2 Dragonborn at the very end of the carriage facing across from each other to describe themselves. And Liam, we'll start with you.
All right. Arrow is an aged Dragonborn in tattered, filthy traveling clothes, a shredded cloak, all of the clothes. It looks like it has been worn to the hilt. And his scales are... you almost wouldn't know that he's scaled in gold because all of his skin and flesh is coated with months' worth of dust from the road and the wastes. His eyes, the reptilian flesh that is finer and smaller on the eyes, is sunken and sallow and dark. And there is a significant, long-aged scar, a cut where the scale has been opened on his neck and throat. And he is got a far-off look. He is really looking, not that he hasn't acknowledged others in here, especially the Hulk sitting across from him. But this is a situation he has successfully avoided for all the many decades of his life. And he is spending a lot of time focusing on just slow breath. In and out. Meditative, almost.
Sitting across is Crocus. Crocus is about 6'6", 300 pounds of just muscle and very rough and jagged scales, covered in many scars, fresh and old. A much younger Dragonborn, just at adulthood. White scales that has a sort of spidering vitiligo of dark scales that come up from under his threadbare clothing. Hunched over in his restraints, and you notice that there's a few more than anybody else has been given, as he's quite capable of tearing out of basic restraints. And he's sitting there staring forward with a kind of look where he's not registering what's around him, and his eyes are fully dilated in this just kind of panicked stasis, not knowing what to do, not knowing anybody around him. A lost giant child.
Captain Ruscott moves through the center. He's got this enormous, sort of corroded, metal-headed mallet that he's dragging along the floor behind him. Just gleeful at the smell.
Sorry. He kind of gives it to Torment a little bit more, and then walks off. Arrow gives advice to the fellow Dragonborn. Try not to, just to stand out. One of them is freaking out, and he said he shouldn't be here, saying he specifically gave up the Dragonborn to the Dragons stuff, so this little snitch there. There, they keep going. We head back to the mop.
Describe the state of your infirmary as you arrive there with Garin.
Bad. It's not great in there. It's bad here. It's dirty. There is dried blood all over the floors. There are bodies everywhere. Some sitting, some lying down. Mia is incredibly overwhelmed, but you can't tell. She's running around, keeping tabs on people, making sure that bones are setting and that folks are getting extra water as they've been passed out on the floor, and trying to return people back to work as quickly as possible, because if they don't come back, it's on her. The infirmary is gross. There are bones, it's just a cacophony of like sound and smell, and she tries to block all of that out as she is currently setting someone's arm right back into its shoulder, hopefully to return back to work.
You enter with Garin, and see that these are, thankfully there's no broken bones here, but there are some there's some bad sort of like internal.
Gives medical attention. She goes on to give him medical attention to Garin. But no, a once human, now four-armed gnome who is also a warlock. There is there's someone called Rufus there who Rufus, I forget. Well, who comes there to check on the prisoners, see how the hell they're doing, and will return at nightfall to check on certain ones who have been there a little bit longer, and if they to judge whether or not if it was worth keeping them alive. As they keep talking more, Garen notices a mouse scurrying in a corner, a family of mice, and who are in a hole in the wall. He keeps looking. He finds there a root, which is bizarre because it having been plant life around for years. A feature then arrives and tells about Eros Crocus and the Arrow Crocus and the Dragonborn. With Arrow being one of Nia's friends too, they start trying to make plans to help try to figure out how to save him. They've been also working on escape plans, and they may need to rush them into action. Eventually, they head back to they come with the idea, like, they know they're going to set out as a sort of tribute or something, but a tribute isn't good wouldn't be considered good if they are all infirmed or sick, so.
Halls of
Parting.
The Halls of Parting. Where my friends are.
The halls of partying.
The halls of partying. Few and far between are the halls of partying here in Rybad Cole.
Party punishment?
Incredible. Feature, as you begin to go through the sort of nicer provisions up here in the infirmary.
Yeah, I trust you. Leave her to it. Oh.
Uh-huh.
Oh, you do? Okay. Now that you phrase it that way, I mean, I think Mia. I mean, she hasn't been here long enough to really. She craves friends. She's a community-based creature.
And so this and keeps looking at the mice. Gets a piece of bread and feed it feeds a crumb to the bread to the mice. Mia, he's bitten. Gun is bitten by one thing, and there's a little bit of glow before it disappears. And Mia heads over and talks to the captain at the halls of parting. We found out Garrett is currently can use has some form of bless on him. That's helpful. As they keep going, Nia talks to a high-ranking Asmar there. Satno. The high priestess of Bane. She tells us that there may be an outbreak amongst the prisoners, and that it would be improper to send what they probably be considered broken goods. Here goes to the tower where the guests are. There is a. Is it the? There, we see like the lady who told about the dinner. We see the vampire hobgoblin that leads the fort. We see the Callister family, which is a noble human family a human family of nobility that worships the dawn, the Strife Emperor.
Of wine up here. As you pour a glass of wine, you see that this scorpion centaur who bears a symbol of each betrayer god around this massive amulet turns to look over at you, these like long ears, sharp fangs, turns and says, "Thank you very much. We'll take a little more heavier pour if you don't mind."
Oh, anything for our guests. Should I fill that all the way up?
Splendid.
And is Otto or anyone helping me around
Yeah,
this
Otto
guy.
and Tavine are both up here.
I say, boys, make sure that our guests' glasses stay filled all throughout the night as much as they desire.
You see that the Iron Scorpion, as he is called, raises a glass in appreciation and turns back to the conversation. On that 12 perception, once dinner is served, you see that Otto and Tavine sort of have to step out, as is customary, but there's one staff member left in the room who is used.
She, what's her name? Her character, the halfling, she overhears conversation while they sit at dinner. Here's how the archer took the ruler's eye.
Terry sort of speaking, this would be Misfear, the Aching Prince. You see
Aching Prince.
you see that the it's so bad.
Oh, yeah.
It's so bad. Matt's like, this is that shit I like. You see,
Cenobite Christmas, I love it.
We have such sights to show you.
you see that the lady Cerulia goes, well, what of any word from the Spider Queen? You see that the Iron Scorpion says, my lady, the Spider Queen has been banished for a century. You see, he says, that is not so. It cannot be. You see that the Iron Scorpion says, the time for propaganda is at an end, at least here in these circles. Spider Queen is banished. The Crawling King's minions have been utterly routed. Those caverns of the Underdark, they are empty of his soldiers. And now the Ruiner has fallen as well. You see that the human lord speaks up and says, it is ever as we anticipated. Not all of the kin of the beloved Strife Emperor.
They talk about how the propaganda will soon have to end, like they can't keep lying. Eventually, after saying we've had a march of 5 degrees, they're going wondering why we're not marching. And and they decide to make sure that the knowledge of this stays within certain. It is people some are proposing that they go try to unbanish the defeated betrayers, or if not, to trust story with their own lords and see if they can. Wait. Sorry.
In this moment, Phaedra, you look over and see the sort of kid playing at the table. The lady turns to him, and you see she looks over to her husband, who apparently are the parents of this young child, and says, darling, would you give a hand, please? You see that human lord takes out a knife, plunges it into the kid's hand in the table, and says, stop fidgeting! My apologies. And you turn and see all the various demonic, otherworldly presences. Have a moment of looking.
They talk about so one of the Asmon who was there we were talking before. It says, "Well, let's see if they cannot. Our God's gonna do. If not, we can do that." And there, and sorry. They're basically someone's suggesting to leave the material there because when the materials one in the less shares of the world.
You see the child looks down at the knife in his hand. It has not moved since then. And looks up to you in this moment.
Phaedra does not look back. Just continues whatever it is that she is doing of clearing the plates.
You continue looking. As you get to the child's plate, you hear, and this kid is maybe about 9 or 10 years old. You hear a little raspy voice go, "It's okay. I wouldn't want to help me either."
Oh no! Oh no! Jesus. Okay. That definitely.
Gang, it's the height of the calamity, and it's so bad.
So bad.
Not bad here.
Divergence, it's so bad.
Divergence. Yeah, awesome like a Looney Tunes posture. Divergence, it's so bad.
That's bad, folks. Oh man. I kind of look at the kid. Does the kid have a glass of wine in front of him?
It has not been filled, but he has a little glass in front of him. You look up, he's dressed in finery. He's an aristocratic child. He's here in a hall of meeting place because of who his mother and father are. They're human nobility that have sworn fealty to the Strife Emperor and turned their fiefdoms and various feudal lands into the service of the Strife Emperor. This little child lives in a level of richness, luxury, and material comfort that most of the ash-choked stragglers and survivors of the calamity could only dream of. And the small price he has to pay for that luxury and refinement is having his father stab a knife through his hand into the wood of the table because he was fidgeting at dinner.
Alright, I pour a tiny bit of wine in his glass, and I say, "It's the best I can do, kid."
You walk from the table. The best I can do, kid. These are the decisions that those that will survive calamity have to make. And as you walk away from the table, you see a wine glass in a soft young hand go up and get poured into the bloody wound with a sting of alcohol touching blood. And that's where we're going to stop.
What?
Yeah, let's go ahead and take our break. Take it right there. Hell yeah.
The living lands is fractured, both in nature and in politics. There is no easy path from here.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Yeah, it takes takes away the Dragonborn. She manages to persuade them to check, give her a check to make sure they're not contagious. Some of the kids are a little hesitant because they've got out there's the snitch. There's the two children and their mother there, and there's also one more. They're in. Sorry, late. I had to take something, so.
The choice is...
Your no! Hello!
She takes them to the halls of a wandering for isolation. Garrett, you can see birds a few birds outside, which is extremely rare because but see red on the a red light approaching. The Strife Emperor is coming. He immediately starts trying to get the infirm to safety. And let's see, sorry. And Crocus are also now in the Tower of Wonder.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to tonight's episode.
You son of a... If you're wondering, this is what my look like. I kind of like try to get like two things from line, but Garen comes and warns them that the Strife Emperor is coming. Let's see. They contemplate using the arrival as a distract. Well, see, well, everyone's focused on the sheriff upon his arrival. Use that to try to escape with their Dragonborn friends. Nia starts grabbing her sister locket, which she wears, and there's a glow.
She's going to try and find not that she doesn't trust her friends with this, but she wants to find a way to secretly, clock it or check it if she can.
Give me a sleight of hand. I love the noise people make when they don't have that skill.
Nat 20!
Nat 20! Unbelievable!
Yes, I add nothing to it. Straight up Nat 20.
Straight up Nat 20. Nia, you open the locket.
Okay, go ahead, sorry.
You open the locket. For a moment, you are almost horrified because you cannot see the beautiful portrait of your sister's face. You have to believe that she's still out there somewhere. You just see pure light. And the pure light flitters and begins to disperse, revealing the portrait underneath it as a small cloud, smaller than gnats, of glowing, minuscule fireflies depart, one of them biting you on the throat right above the collarbone.
She doesn't go to destroy it. She lets it run its course, because this is something, if this is her, she has to keep it alive.
And Garen offers to help spring the two Dragonborn. Sort of leads the way. There. And, sorry.
Great. What's your armor class?
Favorite question.
Oh, it's a 13.
13? Okay. As you are turning to look at the wall, a crossbow bolt thunders past you from one of the guards, openly firing on you. Looking past you, just twang, and he says, "Yeah."
I would recommend also watching the original because I'm tired and I'm having a hard time reading my condensed writing. So,
What are you doing here on this hole? You have no business on this level! Ka-twang, ka-twang! And just open fire misses you. It is your turn. What do you do?
Oh, fuck. Is there anything near me that I can hide?
Well, you do happen to see a big hole in the wall.
Yeah. I look at the guard, and then I look at that wall, and I take a deep breath, and I run, and I jump, and I try to,
Give me a stealth check.
hold myself against the wall. Hold myself in place. 24.
24! Incredible.
Do I hear her rushing towards
Yes, you do.
kind of kind of at this place while still holding your arm? I'm going to go ahead and lift you up
Yep.
to where you're on your feet.
Yep.
okay.
Get the hammer out and kind of hold.
They basically, okay. Garen basically brings it to the outer part of the wall of the halls of wandering, which are these narrow passageways in the things. Like going through them, you have to you actually have to squeeze through, and after a while wandering, that squeezing, you start like losing like your skin and body like being just rubbed off while you try to find a way through. He finds this a weak point and makes a hole there.
Right at the side of where the hole is, where she's going to come through.
Hell yes. Phaedra, you leap into the hole,
Yeah.
scuttle above the hole, and fan out, like just superimposed above it. With a readied action, a soldier's head comes through the hole.
Bring my stone hammer down!
Go ahead and make your attack. Everybody roll initiative. Oh yeah, let's go.
Thank you so much.
I'm gonna do so much.
Alright, with a -3 dex, I still got a 15 total.
Unbelievable.
Perfect.
What's that?
1.
Oh, 1. Great. 15. They would beat a 15.
No. Wait, it's plus your dex, right?
Plus your dex, that is correct.
Natural 1.
Hell yes. So this soldier wearing a cast iron full plate hauls himself through. You have a readied action, so we don't have to go to your turn. So he goes. You're going to get a readied action on him, and then did anyone else beat a 15? It's going to immediately be your turn after that readied action goes off.
Waiting for so long to do this.
Go ahead, take your attack.
First attack, not great, but it's a 10.
This is a human guard without dark vision. So in other words, you will have advantage because you're attacking in darkness.
Alrighty. That's better, that's a 16.
16 hits.
For my stone hammer,
That's just going to be 1d6 plus your
I'm
strength.
about to say, yeah, not a tremendous thing. That would be a 1. That's me 5 points of damage, I believe.
Boom! That's your first attack, then it's your turn.
I don't want to get hit by a stone hammer.
That's going to be a 22 to hit.
22 is a hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Another 5 points of damage.
These guards had 10 hit points. Boom, boom.
I order this.
You guys watch
No one's ever
a
heard.
helmet warp to the point where warped steel, like, in other words, this guard died because his helmet stabbed into his brain.
Wait, if I can, with the second impact, I'm going to go ahead and take the hammer as it's embedded, drag him off the fallen stone, and try and plunk him into the hole that you almost fell into just to get him out of the way.
Yeah.
Hell yes, go ahead, give me an athletics difficulty 15.
Okay.
That's natural 19, 23.
This is unbelievable. I'll say on a 19, Matt, you can plug up the sort of dangerous pitfall trap, or if you want, you can yank him and plug up the hole leading to the other guards. He's so heavy that if you just jam him in his armor in that opening, up to you. If you want to remove the obstacle for you guys in the floor, that's a great use for it. Or on a 19, I'll let you also, if you want to just seal up the hole, and we'll let you do that as well.
I mean, in the moment, thinking the conversation about you being stuck and trying to find the other way out, I'm going to hope that there's a way to try and get through the portcullis, or at least another break in the wall if we can look for it, and instead try and keep others from coming through here and firing on us. So I'm going to go ahead and try and jam him back into the hole where we came through to try and keep them from following.
Yanking him down with that hammer and twisting him, his armored body is just a it's like, really what it is you have immediately, your dwarven craftsmanship is like, I can turn a suit of armor into a wall. And there just happens to be a body in there, but that's irrelevant. And you can see the guards who just watched their companion poke his head into a hole, hear two sickening loud clangs of stone on metal and a crunch of skull with muffled by a helmet as their as their companion ignominiously is now upside down, ass in the air, legs poking out of a hole in a stone wall.
Tetris.
You know when you get a long piece and you really needed one?
Line piece.
Incredible. Did anyone else get between a 10 and a 15?
I got a 14.
14. Okay, Phaedra, your exit is now barred, but you are also safe from the other guards. In this space, is there anything?
Okay. Sit there, securely safe from the guards for the moment. They identify courts. They try to go looking for court. Corvus. Yeah. They find the Dragonborn family, and with them, the rest of the Dragonborn, like, Crocus and the Snitch. As they come to their exit or something, there, okay, yeah, there, so, outside they can hear, like, you can't hear, there, they can hear some of the sounds outside there, there, you can't hear anything outside, they're inside, like, they avoided these, what looks like almost fingers of darkness, that stray out from only to find out that they are weeds, or like vines and stuff. Here's many sounds, like howls, many shouts, and the different horns blowing. Then it gets all quiet. They can't hear anything outside. Before, like, one of the sounds was like this. Some class was like one of them was so loud and so close, they were permanently deafening them. They were check outside. They finally they tried to get outside. The main door is locked. Arrow uses his breath to try to break through. And go get some wax. They run out of use and stuff, and they have to wait a while for him to recharge. And after that hit, Crocus, who doesn't have his breath because of his infirmary, was given a hammer from Garen, and uses it to finish off the lock.
Great sometimes. The thing is, if you're not really sick and none of us are really sick.
No one's sick. I lied.
Thank you. And you see that the little boy, Selman, looks up and goes, see, lying is great sometimes.
Sometimes it's okay. Sometimes to save your friends and your family, but you always have to tell them after the fact that you have lied. You have to tell the truth about lying.
You have to tell the truth about lying. Okay.
Easy Crocus. Like, can't work that out in his head.
Crocus. This one's got breath of flame. You got anything packing in those lungs?
After they finish off, they see the remnants of a battle. The fortress has been laid waste to by plants and beasts and potentially gods based on sounds coming out. Like, for a while there, you were wondering if some of the other Patriot gods had backstabbed the Strife Emperor. The western wall is destroyed. The steel tower, which they heard, was tossed onto a hill 2 miles away. You can see this long streak, which is almost like a shadow, which they almost recognize. They do recognize as a, which is it was like I was incinerated for like something from the north. Gave it a long good. They suspect it's the Dawn Father. They based on the lightning they heard, they think that the storm. Well, the Stormlord was amongst the combatants, and with all the violent stuff, it's easy guess to say Laura. Potentially, the matron was there too because of all the ravens they see. That just could be just attracted after the battle. They see on the side there this massive piece of armor, like a shin guard thing, which is a piece of the one of God's armor, potentially Palor. They start wondering what happened to the other prisoners. They wonder if Gray's approach was actually him fleeing the other gods. They start searching for survivors and supplies. And Krogus search for the rest of the cockroaches. 3, 4, 5.
Go ahead, and I'm going to say these are extremely consequential roles. I am an impartial arbiter of the chaos visited upon Exandria by the gods.
All right.
10 gets you somebody. 15 gets you somebodies. 20 gets you everybody. You have advantage.
Oh, advantage.
Because Krokus is helping.
And this is investigation.
Yeah, what do you add to investigation?
0.
0. Alright. 10, 15, and 20, but you're rolling 2 dice.
Oh no!
What'd you get?
I got a 3 and a 6.
Ooh, baby!
That's not good.
There it is. Remember those fun NPCs from the first half?
Oh
boy.
Gadriel!
We never found out what our freaking deal was.
We never found out what his deal is. We never found out if he's crazy or if he's just like that.
Do we not find them, or
Now we'll never know.
do we?
Good
I
question.
think on a 3 and a 6, you go to the kitchens, and the kitchens are ruined.
Yeah.
There's no hope of finding their body here. On a 3 and a 6, you don't know. You do not find them.
Yeah.
But you were off doing a special dinner. Krokus was in a caravan. Did your boys just do what maybe you would have done and headed out? Or maybe no? Who knows? Maybe they looked for you for a long time. But regardless, you know that there is no one living in the kitchens.
Is there salvageable food in the kitchens at all?
On a 3 and a 6, there is no salvageable food in the kitchens.
Alright.
Who else is...
Arrow goes searching for a map and for a map he made in water.
You're making an investigation check as well. 10 gets you one of those things. And I'll ask you, what is dearest to Arrow? What is dearest to Arrow? Is it the map or is it water?
Yeah, I think it's the shoulder of the elephant.
I know. I wanted to. Yeah, this is the campaign. This is the campaign where finding a jug of water is the fuck me. Okay, so map is 10. Map and water is 15. and those are the two things you're searching for. I'll say this: on a 20, you get that and any you'll find all of your effects or belongings on a 20. Cool.
Natural 20.
Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me!
Yes. Yes.
Holy shit!
Without looking at it.
Holy shit! Arrow, Arrow, you go up. You go up, Garin. It's quite close to where the moth was, to where the infirmary was. That place, this is the vault. We established it before, right? So I think, Arrow, with that tip, you head off. You are literally digging through stone with your hands. However, the vault...
If I'm a mice who found his rucksack,
Squat down, holding my bag in my hands, looking at these mice. What is your mother playing at?
Mice skitter away.
Shoulders it.
You shoulder it. You feel in your bag the heft of a full canteen of...
Yeah, makes a good check. There's he rolls on a map of Firefly Landside indicating the Storm Point Mountain, a pass in the Storm Point Mountains, which is probably where he should have to. Neil looks for her effects, not only find them, but also a medicine kit. Garen looks for tracks, like leading out of the fortress. The dead here are mostly soldiers. There are a few prisoners lying dead, but very few. He has to conclude that this was an ambush. The attacking gods managed to take the whole fortress by surprise. Okay. But basically saying, and thinking about back to the mice, he thinks that the mice were scouting ahead, so they knew who to spare or not. He sees the prisoners are somewhere here, mainly northeasterly direction to try to find settlements where they can get help. They find an old halfling who used to be Garen's traveling companion. Starmery Fiddle Flask. And also another companion, old companions, a bugbear, Gosson. And they see Merlap, the Snitch, the Dragonborn Snitch, is with them, along with the rest of the Dragonborn who they managed to get out of the cage. Specifically, a mother and her two children, another one who like Cogsworth or something like that. It basically, an inside check is that he doesn't see any point to betray now, but if he thinks it'll be valuable, he will betray them, so he should not be trusted at all. Hasn't learned his lesson yet. They managed to get the muzzle all that Corcus has had as a prisoner off him.
Fine dinner upstairs. Go ahead if you would give me an investigation check with advantage.
Okay, alright. I'm not gonna jinx it. I'm not gonna jinx it.
Boy with a knife in his hand.
It's worse.
It's worse.
What is it?
I'm a 1 and a 3.
Oh no! Phaedra. You open it up, and see about 300 mice all go from a completely empty larder.
Okay. I do have a question. So I do have lucky. So when you roll a 1 on a
Re-roll
20,
that
so
one.
do I,
Yeah, you
that
re-roll
counts?
that one.
Okay.
That's correct.
Oh please. Oh please. Oh please.
Yes.
Ooh, that's better. 14.
14. There are no mice. You open the larder. Redline that.
Mice, no.
You open on a 14. This is like the fine dining larder for the well-to-do that have now all been sundered and destroyed.
Yeah.
So your survival supplies are a sort of a bottle of like a nice red, a wheel of very well-maintained cheese. It's about that big. And I think you also find in there a very small bottle of, a glass bottle of fish roe. And this is what your band has to live off of.
All right. Gorgeous. All right. I come back and I say, well, all my friends are dead, but look what I got. Why?
Will that help me with this roll?
Go ahead and make a roll with advantage.
Since I also have that feat, may I also roll advantage?
Also roll with advantage.
Please.
20. Hell yeah.
Jesus, math. 23.
23. Whoa, awesome.
Plus 5 is survival.
18.
13.
Whoa.
22.
22. You guys survey out here. Errol, you feel the heft of that map. You guys, I'll tell you what, these 0 level characters are fucking kicking ass. It's crazy.
Sorry about. It's not gonna get good.
Incredible. I will ask at this moment too. This is an exceptionally high group skill check, so I will leave it fully. You get to the shattered wall outside of Ryebad Cole. There are some small settlements out here. These settlements are laid to waste. Whatever battle occurred out here, between you see that there's like a canyon carved into the landscape from some blast of a god's might that just leaves a whole village.
Yeah, they're trying to figure out which way they're supposed to go. Doesn't know that along the structure there are those streaks of forest, which were probably briefly very vibrant stuff, but are now dead because they're only temporary. They see across the land, veins are scattered. They think if they want to track down the survivors, they'll use the main road to track them. They'll find other survivors, but they don't know what side they were on, or what they might do being desperate. So those roads will lead to survivors, but that also could lead to danger. Well, the trees will give cover and stuff. And there are, shattered towns there, damage from the fight, which can lead to supplies. Garrett wants to follow outside, but he kind of gets outvoted. They end up picking the trees.
But when I was a young boy, where I lived, we had this thing called rain, and it would fall from the sky, and it Yes, I can't imagine that rain's not far away. Trees need rain. As creatures need water.
Well, these aren't ones that came over time. They're pretty sure these are from attack.
Here in the Ashlands of the Strife Emperor for quite some time. But I've always kept a song in my heart to see rain again. Oh, I knew the day would come when I would. I have a funny feeling that it's right around the corner.
I whisper to Crocus, I say, look, things are getting pretty dire. I think we might have to eat this halfling man. Oh! Not now, but I'm just saying.
Does Mia hear that?
He's clearly losing it.
Are you describing our first, night?
This is like your first night.
Oh, I'm one night in, I'm already talking. Yep. Yeah, it's 24 hours.
Now where are we eating?
Then this night and any night he can, Arrow finds a place like the bottom of a rise, making sure there's ridges around. And he gets down on all fours and... I
think he's supposed to be what you call a druid. He uses a cantrip to make a fire.
You can learn as well.
Very good.
Be ashamed to have to drag more dead weight.
Gar just passes out. Exhaustion taking over.
That first day, on that failed survival check, that's your water and food. Okay.
Still got wine and the cheese.
Still got the wine and the cheese.
Okay.
That was the wine, that was the fish eggs.
Pouring roe in your mouth.
Chugging row.
Looking at your map, you think you're about...
We are right here.
Now, as they keep trying for money days, each day another check, constitution check to see if they prevent exhaustion, with quite a few failures, which means the points keep going up.
Everybody here to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh no!
Natural 20.
Thank you, God.
My -1.
Nat 20?
Yeah. There we go. That's
I've used this. This. I don't think I've used this D20 yet. No fucking way. 6.
6, okay. Then 10.
19.
That'd be a total of 22 with a natural 20.
5. Okay.
See what I mean? After a while, the children start getting exhausted, exhaustion and risk dying. So Crocus starts getting on all fours and carry on his back. One night after a successful, they get an extra chance to not take a poison of exhaustion. They see in the distance flying shapes of cloud, something with fire rings being pursued by what look to be large eagles. Sounds very Lord of the Rings-ish to me. By the third day, they're all in rough shape, though. Yeah. Gohan is trying to help by carrying her on his back. They find that deer, which gives them some more sustenance, but they still need water. At this point, because of all some of the they've taken some permanent injuries, though minor ones, that will be with them the rest of their lives. So.
You do that. I'm going to need those of you around Nia to make your Constitution saving throw.
It's like by the 5th day. It's like the 5th day or something.
Yourself included.
17.
17. Success.
22.
22.
14.
14. 10.
Sorry,
You
20.
take another level of exhaustion.
Natural 1, Brendan.
Natural 1.
Yeah, I took a
And
level
that, if you're
vitamin.
getting that level of exhaustion, you said you weren't going to get.
Yeah, that's what happens when I talk shit. Yeah, that's what
Earlier
happens.
was going on. She hasn't got bonus something yet. So, he remembers her sister. Has a memory of saying, like, if they go to meet at Torn, so she wants to go find someday. Nia goes near the edge of wood with some of the others, including. And she goes near the edge of the forest and starts battling. And when seeing nothing, what the frick? Starmarian, basically asks her to says they could go check beyond the forest a little more, because I doubt they'd be that close to the forest. Like, her Darker's always 60 feet, so she tells him to stay because he doesn't have it, can't really help. They start talking more about what he wishes, and what he remembers saying he would rain, and suddenly he falls down. He falls to his knees, and then just lays down.
I'll find it. Maybe it's waiting there. Gets down on one knee. Lies down on the ground. Looks up and meets your gaze for a moment. I'll find it. Maybe it's waiting there. On the other side. The light leaves.
I replay Nia's voice in my head saying to Garin, change is coming. Which reminds me of someone else from a long time ago. Right? Nod my head at Starman and head out into the dark.
Nia, you take first one step, then the other, exhausted. Out into the darkness, the trees behind you. You hear Arrow's footsteps approaching. Ash and waste. It's hard to see out here. Just wish, holding onto that locket, that there was any light at all to see. For 60 feet. But past that, to see the landscape, to see where, if there's something.
Understood.
And after your first few faltering steps, you're not more than 20 yards from where you started. You look up. Lightning illuminates the landscape, and the rain starts to fall.
Nia doesn't dare look behind her. But she knows that Starmia made the rain.
The plains are illuminated by lightning. All of you sleeping by the fire begins to sputter and there are no leaves on the trees to protect you, so you come to the kids open their mouths up to the rainwater falling, and you immediately, Arrow and Nia, watch and look down. Thankfully, you're on a ridge right now. Chaos, just like a landscape. Every time it's illuminated, you see fields of ash suddenly picked up by water that can't sink into the oily charcoal ground and just floods deep down underneath. Just waves of ash and debris moving through a landscape. But water in your eyes, getting the dust off your skin, in between your scales, the grime. For the first time you can move your hands again. It's not choked in your knuckles by ash. Distantly, moving across the landscape, light. You see a colossus, 300 feet tall, moving across the land, skin like lightning and ice and marble blue clouds, massive brawny shoulders, beard and hair of endless fog and cloud and vapor. It is shocking and horrifying to watch as he illuminates the nighttime landscape, but the Lord of Storms walks across this land, surveying as the rain falls in this choked place. Each step with thunder. Those of you in the woods can see the light towards the east of something moving across the land. The Storm Lord rain falls down his own titanic shoulder.
The rest of it goes to the edge and sees it. They find Stormmarine, whatever, however. And they go out, they see the god, and they see the rain, and they feel the rain. Nia just like, it just says, not even realize she says out loud, thank you.
Do you all watch in silence in this moment and allow the god to pass? Or do any raise of voice or seek to be seen by the divine in this moment?
I think Crocus, he hears people talk about gods, and I don't think he understands what that is, or if that correlates to what people refer to as gods, and I don't think he understands what he's looking at.
You behold this being, and I think everyone else knows what they're seeing, and so it stays in their own moment of thankfulness for the water, or lost in thought and memory. Crocus, you gaze directly at this being, unaware of what it even is. And from across a landscape, a towering colossus turns with eyes of lightning and meets your gaze directly. Speaking with a voice of thunder that you feel rumble in your chest. Are you afraid?
He puts Starkey down on the ground. Yes.
Will you flee?
Would it help?
You are tired from carrying yourself. And you see that both of the little kids turn up to look at you in this moment, who have been riding your back for days. It is your own weight or the weight of another that has tired you so.
He looks down at the kids.
That is what strength is for. Lightning crackles out from him. Mist surges up from the ground around you. We are leaving. Forever.
Okay.
You witness the final miracles. You will need to be strong. You will need to stand and lift up those who cannot lift themselves. Our age of doing so is at an end. I hope you will be strong. And the Lord of Storms turns and begins his northward march across the plain.
Did all of us hear that, or just...
All of you heard that.
Oh, no.
Should, he saw us. Should we go? I don't know who that is.
As the mist clears at your feet, you see that there is a thick leather belt with two clasps of like dragon ivory at the buckle on the ground at your feet.
Pick it up. Belt.
So it's a gift? I think maybe from the gods.
Is that a god?
I can't explain it, but I don't know what else it could be.
Wild.
Picks up the belt. Looking out, there is a crackle of lightning as the Colossus moves behind a range of mountains and vanishes from this place. Starmian's body lies amongst you. Your companions lower their heads. Crocus, you hold a gift. But more than that, you have all heard the words spoken. These are the last days where miracles like this will be seen. As the rain falls, your sudden boon of life-giving water now threatens you with chill and cold. Give and take. You will need to find shelter, and quickly. The road to safety is never guaranteed, and you have only yourselves to rely on. That's all for this episode.
Okay, and that we enter the last portion of the evening. In my recap of my own homebrew, today we deal with my second ever wizarding class, the School of Quintessence Within all life there is an essence, and with it, potential. Excuse me. Within all life there is an essence, and with it, potential. By infusing that essence into reality, you can allow reality to grow into what you wish. Starting at level beginning when you select this school at level 2, the gold and time you must spend to copy spells with either the healing tag or creation tag in your spellbook is halved, or double if the particular spell you're trying to copy is not one that normally is not available to wizards. Also at level 2, you get Revival of Magic. You can expend some of your life essence to revitalize your magical potential. As a bonus action, spend any number of available hit die. Rolling the spent die, you gain a number of charges equal to the result. You can restore any number of slots by spending the number of charges equal to the spell slots level squared. For instance, if you have four slots, you could pay if you had 4. If you got 4, so that 8, you would be able to restore 1 level 2 spell slot or 4 level 1 spell slots. Any unused charges disappear at the start of your next turn. Then you get improved life restoration. Starting at level 6, when you cast a spell with a healing tag, any creature healed by the spell regains additional HP equal to a number of D4s equal to the spell's level. Same thing for the level 10 feature, improved life. So only instead of additional healing, you're giving additional hit points to you're increasing the hit point maximum by that same amount. And then finally, your capstone at level 14. Charges gained from Quintessence Savant now lasts until the next long rest. And with that, I thank you for joining me. This is Rei'nia. I wish thee good fortune on the quest of life.